Have you ever wondered why your dog is always sitting outside the bathroom door or following your every step like a shadow? Most of us settle on one of two explanations. Either our dog simply loves us or they are struggling with anxiety. However, animal cognition researchers who have spent years studying this behavior have found a different and far more interesting explanation. This isn't necessarily a psychological weakness. It can be a smart strategy that helps dogs feel more capable while allowing them to gather information about the world through us. Today, we're going to decode the mystery behind these so-called Velcro dogs and explore why being your shadow may actually be one of the highest compliments a dog can give. Ever wondered why your dog sits outside the bathroom door, patiently waiting for you to return? It's a common sight for pet owners, often leading to theories of either deep love or severe anxiety. However, researchers at the Clever Dog Lab in Vienna discovered something more profound through a simple puzzle experiment. They found that when their owners were present, dogs remained invested in solving a difficult food puzzle for much longer than when they were alone or with a stranger. This isn't necessarily because they're clingy, it's what scientists call the secure base effect. Much like a small child using a parent as a reference point at the edge of a playground, your dog can use your presence to feel more capable of navigating the world. They aren't necessarily following you because they can't manage without you. They may follow because your presence makes them feel empowered and makes the rest of the world feel more manageable. This shift in perspective can completely change how we see our canine companions. The dog waiting outside the door isn't necessarily fragile. They may simply be waiting for their secure base to return so they can take on the world again. This behavior, often labeled as Velcro dog syndrome, can be a sign of a healthy bond where you serve as an important source of security. The second layer of this following behavior involves a cognitive strategy called referential looking. Researchers at the University of Milan demonstrated this using a fan covered in green streamers to startle dogs. An impressive number of the dogs immediately turned to look at their owner's face before deciding how to react. They weren't simply looking for comfort, they were looking for information. If the owner showed a positive expression, the dog moved toward the strange object. If the expression was negative, the dog moved away. This suggests that your dog can use you as a source of information about a world they're trying to understand. When your dog follows you from room to room, they may be maintaining continuous access to their primary information source. It's not necessarily about being needy, it can be about strategic positioning. Every time you move, your dog gets up because they want to keep that source of information available whenever something unexpected happens. This allows them to stay informed and respond to changes in their environment. Your dog isn't just following your body. They're also paying attention to the information you provide through your gestures, movements, and expressions. In households with multiple people, there is almost always one person a dog follows more than everyone else. Research suggests this isn't necessarily about sentimental preference, it can also be about who is the most consistent source of relevant events. Dogs are excellent at recognizing patterns. They learn who reliably predicts a walk, a treat, or a meal. Maybe it's the person who reaches for the leash, opens the refrigerator, or whose movements most often lead to something interesting. The dog naturally orients toward the person who matters most in terms of resources and activity. Interestingly, research from the Clever Dog Lab has found that dogs can sometimes copy unnecessary actions performed by their caregivers in unfamiliar environments, even when they know a more efficient route. This suggests that during uncertain situations, dogs may stay close to and imitate the person they believe understands the rules. They're not just tracking your physical presence, they're tracking the possibility that something important is about to happen. This becomes especially noticeable in unfamiliar environments where the rules aren't clear. Following you can be a way for your dog to reduce uncertainty by staying close to someone they trust. They may even recognize subtle cues, such as the particular coat you put on or the sound of your keys, as signals that something interesting is about to happen. They aren't just your shadow, they may be your most dedicated student, constantly learning the patterns of your life. The impulse to follow humans isn't purely learned behavior either. Some researchers believe that the desire for human proximity is partly connected to the genetic changes that occurred during domestication. In 2017, Princeton researchers identified structural variants in two genes, GTF2I and GTF2IRD1, that are associated with sociability and human-directed behavior in dogs. Interestingly, changes involving these genes in humans are associated with Williams syndrome, a condition known for unusually high sociability and a strong drive to connect with others. This suggests that the tendency of dogs to seek human companionship may be part of the biological architecture that separates them from their wild ancestors. For thousands of years, humans selected dogs that were comfortable staying close to us. Over generations, proximity to humans became increasingly rewarding. So when your dog refuses to let you out of their sight, you're seeing the result of a long history of domestication and selection for human companionship. Their desire to stay near us isn't necessarily an accident or a developmental problem. For many dogs, it's simply part of what makes them uniquely suited to life alongside humans. But there is one important distinction every owner should understand. Healthy attachment isn't the same thing as separation anxiety. Research has found that dogs with separation anxiety don't necessarily spend more time physically near their owners while everyone is at home. The key difference is their ability to relax. A securely attached dog may follow you from room to room, but still settle somewhere else, nap independently, or remain calm when you leave. A dog experiencing separation anxiety may struggle to disengage and can become distressed even when you're only gone for a short period. So if your dog tracks your every move but remains calm when you step outside, you may not have a dog with a problem. You may simply have a dog that genuinely values being close to you. Their following behavior can be a feature of the bond rather than a symptom of something being wrong. Your dog may not be following you out of brokenness or weakness. They may be following because you're their trusted source of security, information, and companionship. And sometimes, being your shadow is simply the most natural way your dog knows how to say, "I want to be with you."